Beke. It's official. Reports have emanated from the court depositions yesterday, and we can authoritatively confirm that the Chicago State University, through his registrar, has disowned the certificate that Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented to INEC while he was filing to contest for the office of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. At least that is confirmed right now. Yes, they agree that he went to the school, but they cannot authoritatively say that that certificate was given to him by the school. In fact, the registrar said that Tinubu did not apply for a reissue. He just meet people for corner and had a print certificate given and took it to INEC. And now, right now, that is it. That is it. I don't want to talk too much. I'm going to take you into the report right now by People Gazette. We are expecting audio or video evidences of that deposition because it was recorded, and then it's going to be made available soon. But reports from various news outlets, and as I talk to you now, even the Tinubu boys that have been saying and all that, the only thing you can see them saying, I go on Twitter, is that Supreme Court would not admit new evidence. So I'm going to take you through the report so that you can be able to share this video. I'm going to read through the report from People Gazette, extensive and exclusive, and of course very, very interesting as well, so that you can share this video. Let it go down. We officially can confirm that he forged his certificate. He forged them, and forgery and perjury is a criminal offense. Listen to the analysis. It's official. Chicago State University says Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu presented 4 certificates to INEC. President Bola Tinubu presented a 4 certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) when he filed his paperwork to lead Nigeria in June 2022. People's Gazette can report based on the testimony of the institution he arrogated, introducing a new but potentially fatal front in the ongoing battle to oust the Nigerian leader for his documented misdeeds from years gone by. The official repudiation of Mr. Tinubu's certificate, the only academic qualification he presented to the electoral office, came at a deposition of school officials on Tuesday in Chicago. An expanded transcript of the session is being processed, but the Gazette has learned about what has perhaps been the most crucial expectations of Nigeria: how the school would characterize Mr. Tinubu's certificate under oath and penalty of perjury. Caleb Westberg, the registrar of Chicago State University, said Mr. Tinubu's certificate, dated June 22, 1979, and tendered to INEC on June 17, 2022, was not issued by the school, and its administrators could therefore not be able to authenticate its source, the Gazette learned. Mr. Westberg, CSU's registrar since November 2020, also said during the deposition that lasted about 5.5 hours that Mr. Tinubu did not apply for a replacement certificate, nor was he ever issued one. The categorical statement capped a successful outcome for the months-long legal strategy of Mr. Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Tinubu's main opponent, who approached United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois in Chicago to ascertain the authenticity or otherwise of the document. Federal District Judge Nancy Maldonado granted a final order for CSU administrators to turn over all documents relating to Mr. Tinubu to the school and also sit down for deposition by an adversarial team of lawyers deployed by Mr. Abubakar. Mr. Tinubu sensing the intractable consequences of the proceeding vigorously fought to thwart its successful outcome, with his lawyer warning the judge in a September 21st hearing that releasing the document with deposition would inevitably inflict severe irreparable harm against the Nigerian president. The school had long insisted that Mr. Tinubu was a student entering in 1977 and graduating in 1979, but its inability to authenticate the certificate the Nigerian president submitted would ripple through Nigerians' over 20 million population for the foreseeable future. Previously, in 1999, Mr. Tinubu had lied under oath when he ran for governor of Lagos, claiming he obtained a degree from the prestigious University of Chicago. However, he managed to escape being held accountable for the breach because he had been elected before it was discovered. and he did not submit a certificate backing his claim, only an affidavit that was later found to be fiction. And the Nigerian Supreme Court said he could not be charged with crimes as a serving governor. He subsequently stopped claiming attendance at the University of Chicago, holding on instead to a claim that he attended Chicago State University, one of Illinois State university campuses traditionally popular among black people. A spokesman for the president was not immediately available for reaction to development on Tuesday night, but the president's allies have suggested publicly that the evidence was inconsequential and propagated the Supreme Court's readiness to throw it out. The president's allies are also banking on the modus circumstances of the president's certificate spiel, believing his Nigerian lawyers would be able to convince the Supreme Court to focus more on the school's position that Mr. Tinubu was a student rather than how he came about parading a forged certificate. On Monday evening, shortly after the school dumped record into the electronic filing portal used by the lawyers to all parties, Mr. Tinubu's team circulated a misrepresented account of documents, successfully misleading some media outlets to run a claim that the school has authenticated Mr. Tinubu's certificate. They also said the replacement was issued to Mr. Tinubu on June 27, 1997. In what seems to be a reference to the certificate the school had submitted following a 2022 subpoena obtained from a state court by Nigerian lawyer Mark Inauro Eba, Mr. Inauro Eba received the certificate dated June 27, 1979, alongside all academic records of Mr. Tinubu from CSU in August 2022. But the certificate was signed by Enora Daniel and Neva Lubin, who were not at the school in 1979 and carried June 27, 1979 as his issuance date. After comparing the certificate he was given by the CSU to the certificate Mr. Tinubu submitted to INEC, dated June 22, 1979, Mr. Inauro Eba promptly returned to Nigeria with the records and filed a criminal complaint against Mr. Tinubu for forgery. But the case was stalled in an Abuja court for months before the election and has not been heard even months after the election. Mr. Atiku used the conflicting record to approach the Federal Court of Chicago for a subpoena as part of his ongoing case against Mr. Tinubu in Nigeria, culminating in Tuesday's deposition that established Mr. Tinubu's forged certificate in violation of the Constitution. Mr. Tinubu was narrowly declared the winner of the February 25th presidential election and he was sworn in May 29, but today's development could all but mark a putative end to his presidency due to the constitutional proscription against the submission of a fake certificate to the electoral office. Section 137, Section 1, Subsection 1J of the Nigerian Constitution, amended in 2010, specifically stated that no one would be legitimately elected president of Nigeria if the person has presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission. The records obtained from the school, the deposition, and the other materials collected through the U.S. legal system are now being prepared for onward submission to the Nigerian Supreme Court, where a final decision on the presidential election challenge will be made on or before December 6, 2023. While the evidence may appear overwhelming to a plurality of Nigerians, its acceptance will still need to cross a formidable hurdle at the Supreme Court. This is because the court has conventionally rejected the introduction of new material at the top court level that was not previously argued during the trial